This was a regular competitive match. GM lobby, Midtown. Star-Lord ults, our Loki, counter ults as Invisible Woman. And the discovery of the most revolutionary tech in Peni Parker's kit. This is the hyperbounce. So, what is even happening here? Like, how does a web sling one way send a Peni flying in an entirely different direction? Well, we can break it down into two major components, the web strand and the bug swing. Let's focus on that second part first, because it makes up a large portion of how the hyperbounce works. So, bug swings are a term that I use to describe a relatively niche instance with how Peni's WebZip interprets successful and not successful web swings. So we're going to need to go into how the WebZip works. By default, the Cyberbond, or Peni's WebZip, has a 30-meter max range, and pulls you to your target destination if you remain attached and are more than 10 meters away from it. But this range can be extended to 19 meters if you hold a directional key. Upon web zipping, a cyberweb is also created at the target area, and, the most important part for the hyperbounce, the cyberbond can also web strand to a cyberweb within range, and if it does so, it will not create a new web, rather just connecting to the already existing one. Keep this piece of information in mind, it'll come in handy later. A cyberbond swing can be broken by a number of things. Players, the environment, the payload, can all interfere with the strand that connects you to the anchor web, and doing so will immediately detach you and end the bond. This is knowledge that we can use to achieve a bug swing. Bug swings occur when you move behind a piece of map geometry or a prop between the time of starting a cyberbond and the zip landing on the target area, as can be seen in these clips. It is important to note that bug swings can be both unintentional and intentional. You can get accidental ones while trying to swing to a different area entirely, but it is only intentional when you are trying to achieve a certain goal, like, flight halfway across the map. Now, the details of the web strand are a little more nuanced than I did already state. By just walking, you can actually reach almost 22 meters away from the cyberweb, and if there is a cyberweb near where you want to web zip, it will default to attaching or web stranding to the already placed web. The important details about the web strand mechanic are as follows. 1. The game tries to default to web stranding before looking to create a new cyberweb instead. If it's a close call, almost always will it strand instead of zip. 2. When you do achieve a web strand, the game tries to get you to your stranded web as fast as possible, meaning that if you were to bend the bounds of strand distance, the speed you would move at to reach it would be unbelievable. So, what would happen, theoretically, if you were to fire off a web with your cyber snare, and it landed in the same instant that you were bug swinging? The bug swing doesn't create a web on the target area, so if you were in the swinging state, and a new web was created, would the game try to web strand you to the new web? Well, sometimes, when you put 2 and 2 together, this game gives you 5. And when this game gives you 5, I give you the hyperbounce.
Oh my god! 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 I got it! Holy shit! Holy shit! I got it! Holy shit! I got it! Oh my god!
So, yes, Ultimately, the technique to hyperbounce successfully as Penny Parker is to cyber snare towards an object in the direction you want to go, and time a bug swing on a nearby wall or prop to happen almost exactly as the snare lands on the wall. This does take an exorbitant amount of time. In almost 2 hours of testing, I have accrued, with the help of a number of other people chipping in, 5 hyperbounces. So if this is a tech you are interested in recreating, be prepared for a lot of, well, this. Hi, editing moment here. Since I've started editing for this video, I've tried attempting the hyperbounce in games and in practice, like the practice range. And since I've started recording and since that original script audio was recorded, I have accrued probably a total reaching nearly 20 hyperbounces. I don't have them all recorded. A couple of them are in replays, but yeah, this tech is a lot more applicable than you think it is. And even if you don't get a full hyperbounce, half hyperbounces are still super useful. It is also super important to note that you are often going to be limited by the bounds of the map, both the ceiling and the invisible walls blocking off the out of bounds areas. The accidental hyperbounce that spurred all of this discovery was limited by both the ceiling of the map and the invisible wall in which I was heading towards. Okay, so let's have a talk about practicality, because yes, I have achieved hyperbounces in both a ranked and a casual game, one of which being the unintentional discovery of it, and the other was largely ineffective due to bonking on the inside of this wall. But ultimately, so far it is too finicky and takes too many attempts to set up to achieve consistently. However, in terms of theoretical uses, if there were setups developed, or if the timing becomes easier with practice, the fact that there are certain maps where you'd be able to get behind the enemy without needing to use a slow flank as Penny means that spawn traps and pinches could become far more regular occurrences. Originally, I did want to give you guys access to the matches where a hyperbounce has occurred, the quick match on Hall of Dajalia and the competitive match on Midtown, but unfortunately with the release of Season 2, the replays from the previous seasons are now unavailable. I will be working overtime to achieve another hyperbounce in a game, and if I do, the replay file for that will be available in the community Discord. The link will be in the description. And if you do also manage to recreate a hyperbounce yourself, be it in-game, in practice, on a custom game, doesn't matter. If you're able to recreate it, please, I'd love to see more footage of that. You'd be able to send that through on the community Discord server as well. The individuals that helped me will be credited in the description, but of course I have to give a huge shout out to Nite, Premium, and Whatnot, as all 3 of them chipped in time and delayed sleep to help prove the hyperbounce's existence. And without all 3 of them, this tech simply would not exist. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I am so excited for Season 2, and I will catch you all in the next one. This is live testing footage to see if the hyperbounce still works in Season 2. It was working just before the update, so here is hoping that it still does. Yep. Yeah, nope, so it definitely still does work. Okay, I'm gonna go record my